Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in that slow, calm, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, give permission to just let go. Let go of any stress, tension, worries, and feel it leaving your body in that outward breath. And when you breathe in again, breathe in deeper than the breath before, feeling a sense of resourceful relaxation going in through your nose. And as you exhale, just feel more and more of that tension leaving your body, so you start to feel more relaxed and lighter. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. And use the power of your imagination to imagine that your physical body stays there in that location, but your imagination starts to float away. Keep your physical body there as your imagination floats up out of your head, outside, up into the sky, and feel your imagination almost like it's hand gliding in a smooth, floaty direction all the way to the Cornish coast. Imagine seeing cities and countryside beneath you. Feel a sense of lightness, of freedom, feeling so relaxed as you imagine that what can happen in your mind may take hours or days in reality, but feel yourself floating and gliding all the way there to the Cornish coast, to the start of a path of incredible views of the sea. But I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine touching down on firm ground, maybe a grassy area, and just feel grounded as you touch that Cornish grass beneath you. And I want you to get a sense that it is a sunny day in Cornwall. Blue skies, sunshine. And I want you to imagine that there is an incredibly comfortable, perhaps bed or sofa, right at the beginning of that trail. It shouldn't be there, of course. Who in their right mind would have a bed or a sofa outside? And yet, imagine it anyway. Place yourself there on that bed or sofa, feeling that your body is sinking deeper and deeper in, feeling so relaxed. I'll count down from 5 to 1, and with each descending number, feel how you would feel if you were drifting off to a state of deep relaxation. Breathing in 5, feeling your eyelids get heavier and heavier. 4, loosening any muscle there in the jaw, neck and shoulders. Feeling a desire to yawn on that bed or sofa as you feel like you're drifting deeper and deeper relaxed. 3. Feel a sensation that your arms and legs are just getting heavier and heavier. Getting so relaxed. And then 2. You're breathing in and breathing out deeper, but just imagine all of your internal organs start to relax. Imagine your stomach shrinking to about half the size that it currently is, thinking that this will reduce your appetite by about half in the future. Imagine a dial just inside. Imagine your stomach being half the size, but your metabolism being twice as fast. That's it. And that faster metabolism means that your body is just using more energy, even when you sleep, walk, or just remain awake. Some people have fast metabolisms, other people slower, but this faster metabolism for you will ignite a desire to walk more and to be more active. Feel all of those internal organs relaxing, and then one, just feel from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes is feeling completely relaxed as you imagine that you're drifting asleep there on that bed, that sofa, entering a dream-like sleep. But paradoxically, the dream-like sleep is in the same location as you imagine standing right by your side, seeing you fast asleep, getting a sense that the logical, analytical part of your mind is now in a dream-like sleep, and that you are the dream. As you start to walk on that coastal path, land to your left, and the sea to your right. Perhaps you could imagine seeing cliffs, plants, rocks, and the ocean. As you imagine walking down that coastal path, and I want you to imagine that the end of this coastal path represents a desirable destination, a particular weight that you want to be in your future. And maybe there are certain points on this journey, points to rest, that represent stepping stones towards that final destination. I want you to get a sense that an all or nothing approach to this coastal path would be to either teleport to your destination or not get there at all. And instead, I want you to think of taking one step at a time. Each step you take on this coastal path represents a choice, a decision, things that you could do but don't have to do. Because you could make it so you never get to the destination on this coastal path. You could decide to walk in the opposite direction You could decide just to sit there and make no progress at all. And just because you could do that doesn't mean you will do that. Likewise, you could decide you want to be at a certain weight and decide to increase your portion sizes. You could decide to eat more refined carbohydrates and move less. But just because you can doesn't mean you will. Because I think you do want to get to a destination that represents health and confidence and energy and personal pride. But just because you want it doesn't mean you get to get there immediately. It takes choices and decisions consistently over time. And in the past, perhaps you've believed that you'll never get to that destination. It's too hard. But I want you to get a sense that it is inevitable that you get to that destination. That all you need to do is to make choices that feel good when you're making them, and the destination also feels good when you get there. Feel one step going in front of each other, seeing the ocean, the sea, continuing to walk on that coastal path. As you think of easy choices you could make in this first phase of the journey, you could decide, for example, that you will no longer buy cakes, hot cross buns, or chocolate in supermarkets. You can have those things, but only if you go to a place and sit down to eat them. And if that feels like an easy choice to make, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that if you don't feel hungry in the mornings, why not make lunchtime the time that you choose to break your fast? People think of fasting like it's something difficult or challenging. But the reason that breakfast is called breakfast is we naturally fast when we sleep, and the first meal of the day breaks that fast. So all you're doing is breaking that fast later than you normally would. And I want you to imagine that if you are going to break that fast, you could do it in a way that gives your body valuable nutrients. As you imagine eating a brightly coloured salad, the greens of the lettuce, maybe the bright reds, the cherry tomatoes or salad tomatoes. And maybe you can see other colours in there too. The more colourful you make this salad, the more desirable it seems. But see that there are protein in that salad too. Anything that is sustainable needs to be pleasurable. And I want you to imagine the first meal of the day is a delicious meal. Imagine enjoying that meal. You're enjoying the meal because it tastes great. But you're also enjoying the meal because you know it's leading you towards a desirable destination. As you go further on that coastal path, just imagine what it would be like every now and then to take a 5-minute walk to a local gym. Imagine feeling determined, dedicated. The opposite of embarrassment is pride and confidence. So imagine walking to that gym, feeling confident and proud that you're doing something to improve your health, confidence and wellness. And maybe imagine spending time on a cross-trainer, programmed to be the exact number of calories that used to be those highly processed foods that you used to eat a lot of. Creating a connection between cause and effect that will lead you to indulge less in those foods and to feel like you've had a workout every time that you choose to simply decide not to have them. As you make progress on this coastal path, feel that you're becoming lighter and slimmer, with more energy, finding it easier to walk. At a crucial milestone, I want you to imagine seeing a full-length mirror and seeing what you would look like having lost 5 kilos. Maybe the clues are around the face or the waist. Maybe somewhere else. This isn't the finishing line. It's just a stepping stone, a milestone on your journey. A milestone that makes you even more motivated than you were before. As the days go by, notice how easy it is to have 2 meals a day, with lots of salads, vegetables, and the occasional proteins. Healthy, natural foods. Then you can have desserts or chocolate or cakes. But you just decide that you will eat them outside of your home, in a restaurant, or somewhere else. And in doing so, there is no deprivation, nothing off limits. You're just changing the location to indulge in those things whenever you choose to. Continue to make progress, noticing that you've now found a rhythm of going to the gym, a rhythm of avoiding breakfast and having that first meal of the day. You found new wonderful combinations of salads and vegetable stir-fries. For a long while, you thought that the goal of losing weight was for you to be healthy and happy. But the more of these salads and vegetable stir-fries you eat, the more you realize it's the other way round. You are healthily and happily losing weight, and that makes it even more enjoyable. So continue to make progress, moving in that right direction. That's it. And then there's another mirror, another milestone. See yourself halfway to your destination now. You've now lost 10 kilos of body fat. You feel lighter in your body. But notice where on your body the biggest changes can be seen. Notice you're smiling when you look at yourself in the mirror. You're making progress. Not with a crazy diet. Not with everything off limits. Just deciding to miss breakfast and have salads and vegetables as the main ingredient in your meals. Noticing that the more often you go to the gym, the easier it is to go to the gym. But all of these are choices and options, not obligations. You don't have to do any of this stuff, which is the very reason that makes it so appealing. Think of your favorite hobbies. You don't have to do them, you choose to do them. So connect that energy to this idea. You are choosing this, and that's what makes it desirable. Continue to make progress. Noticing that a walk seems easier. The portions are continuing to get smaller. You're eating less, but eating better quality. You find yourself spending more on the food to ensure good quality food. You find yourself saying or thinking, less is more. Quality is more important than quantity. Imagine that stomach still being half the size that it used to be. So you find yourself eating half as much, but enjoying it even more. Imagine that the more progress you make, the more progress you want to make. I want you to see inspiration everywhere. Those people that tend to eat through moderation, the people that have no desire for sugary foods or processed foods. They may have been invisible before, but now you see them everywhere. You crave vegetables, salads, chicken and tofu, fish, salmon, even a veggie burger, but always complemented with salads or fresh vegetables. Feel that you're getting towards your destination. As you get to that destination, imagine there is one final mirror and see yourself having lost 20 kilograms of body fat. See yourself healthier as someone who enjoys exercise. Someone who's a regular to their local gym, but also someone that occasionally eats out, that you can indulge in whatever food you want, but that refined carbohydrates or processed food is the exception, not the rule. And if it feels that this is not just a desirable, compelling future, but an achievable future, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that so long as you keep moving towards this direction, failure is not possible. You either win or you learn. On those occasions that you make choices that make you feel sick, or frustrated, or guilty or ashamed, all that does is influence the very next choice that you make. Imagine a year from now, a new summer. But imagine you've been at this slimmer, leaner weight for a while now. Get a sense that life is more of how you want it to be, and that you are gravitating and moving towards that future. When your unconscious feels that you're ready to experiment, find the right meals, combinations, time to do movement or activity or go to the gym, let me know by nodding your head. Now it's time to return. But I want you to imagine not walking back, but lightly jogging back to that version of you there on that sofa or bed. Climb into that version of you and then imagine floating up into the sky like a hand glider in reverse, floating all the way back to the present moment. Taking all of these changes with you, feeling that not that you can lose weight, but that you will lose weight. And in fact, you are already losing weight. Still feel your stomach is smaller, still feel that your metabolism is faster, and feel that you are unlocking all of the resources to make immediate progress in this direction. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Connect fully with the present moment as you now return to the here and now as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.